a couple t-shirt quilts to make, and I thought it would be fun to do like a little series to show you how I make them. Come along with me while I show you how to make a t-shirt quilt. What I'm going to show you is supplies you'll need, how to separate your shirt so that you can get a clean cut on the top, bottom, and both of the sides for your measurements so that you're not like losing inches, and then also how to measure your t-shirts to cut them out so that they'll all be somewhat the same size, because when we go iron them on the interfacing, we'll trim them to the true size that we want them to be. So for a t-shirt quilt, you're going to need some kind of interfacing. I'll put the one on the screen that I use. You will absolutely need a ballpoint pen, some good thread, a good sharp pair of scissors, and a rotary cutter. You're also going to need a scrap piece of fabric that's at least as tall as your blocks are going to be. Doesn't matter how wide it is. So for the t-shirts, what we're essentially going to be doing is separating the front and the back. And like I said before, you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't just go cutting the shirt. You know what I mean? You're going to need as much on the left and the right side to make your blocks whatever size you're wanting to. So I'll just kind of pop the seam of the underarm, kind of find that point, just cut from the bottom of the shirt all the way up through that armpit seam. You're going to flip it over and do the same thing right there all the way to the bottom. If you fold them really good and iron them, you'll get a good crease kind of where you can see where you need to cut. And then you'll flip it over, and then you're going to cut up the shoulder seam. Honestly, the shoulders don't really matter. You can just cut them off if you want to, but I've had patterns and designs where I've had to cut a little bit onto the shoulder, so I would just leave it and cut up the seam kind of like I'm doing here. After you get that done, you are going to have a front and a back shirt. So we can start doing that to every single shirt that you have. And I also forgot to say that if you have a long sleeve shirt, I think I had a couple, but you can, if you're comfortable, you can just cut the whole sleeve off and then do the same thing that we did before. But if you want to cut up the whole seam of the long sleeve arm, it really doesn't matter. But I'm just doing the same thing that I did before. For measurements, once you get all your shirts done, I try and find the shirt that has the largest and widest design on it, because if you decide you want yours 12 by 12 and you start cutting, well, you may have a design on the back of one of your shirts that's literally 14 by 14, and then you've cut all your stuff too short. And I don't like cutting off anything on designs if I can help it. So I do not have a big Fat Daddy ruler. This is the only ruler that I have. So it's 14 by 8. So what I'll do is I'll take the long side and put it down. I'll eyeball the middle, and then I will take a